Hi, Christy.
Hi.
Hey, Christy. And then there's Debbie.
Yep, waiting for her to connect.
Yep.
Hey, oh, no. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're good.
Hi, Debbie.
Good. Hello.
Long time no see.
Good to see you. I'm glad I could make it.
Of course. Welcome.
We may need to wait just a couple more minutes to see if we get some other people to come in.
Okay.
Because we have other people signed up.
Sorry, I don't have any fun music like Cody does when we wait on our Zooms.
You could sing for us.
I could sing. Oh. I think I'm gonna pass. See, Joni says no. Joni, you don't want to hear how I sing? Maybe I'm good.
That was a filter that was shaking my head back and forth.
Yeah. You know, maybe in my past life I had a record deal. I mean, maybe I'm really good.
Can't live in the past, Amber. Not live in the past.
Thanks for your encouragement, Joni.
I'm here for you, girl.
Yeah, it's been fun today.
Already.
It's been a real treat, Joni, to see you today.
Well, and the fact that Suzanne just kept reminding me that I needed to be, I thought I must need to be there. And so now I know why.
We're gonna teach you some stuff. Hey, but I am a co-host, Joni, so I can remove you if you start to misbehave too much.
That's okay. It would not be the first either. So, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Today, would it be the first one today?
I would have to say yes today.
All right. Good to know. Good to
As
know.
for yesterday, maybe not, but today.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Joni, and no, that was not sent just to you. You just happen to be on that listserv trying to get people I'm trying to drum up business here.
I don't know. I just really must sign up for this. I'm here.
Well, it is Amber, you know, it's going to be really good.
Like the movie star that was going to come and present. I thought, I can't miss that.
Wait a second. Did you watch this at TCase?
No.
No, you didn't? Okay, because Terry Wyatt emailed me at TCase and he was like, hey, you're famous, you're in this video. I'm like, oh, you're at the TSLAT presentation. And he was like, yeah. So when you said that, that made me think that you did that too. Okay. Because it's the same, I mean, it's the same presentation. So if you did the one at TK,
The repeat then.
it's a repeat. Yeah, it'd be a repeat. Yeah. Except I didn't do that one. Our network lead did the other one.
Oh, yours will be so much better, Amber.
Oh, thank you. You're
welcome. Okay, well, I guess we can go ahead and get started. I think we all know each other. Debbie, who doesn't have her camera on right now, is at Region 15. And there she is. And she's
I'm off camera because I'm eating my tasty tidbits.
Oh, there you go.
You're totally fine.
So we're glad you're here, Debbie, and we're able to make it. She kind of wanted to see how we were doing this. And so we have Region 14 people here. So, and Joni.
Thanks, Joni.
Yes, we appreciate you being here. Yay. So
you win a prize. We don't know what it is, but you win a prize.
Yep. I'll remember that next director's meeting. Joni gets a prize.
You know, with that many invites, I thought I better share.
Well, yay, it worked for one person. Maybe I'll just keep doing that next time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to let Amber, she's going to present today on great strategies for us to use for all of our kids, not just our kids that fall under autism. So Amber, I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay, let me get everything set up. Okay, are you guys seeing the TSLAT slide, the first slide? We good? Okay, perfect. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the Texas Statewide Leadership for Autism Training website, also known as TSLAT for short. I am the autism specialist here at Region 14, and this website is put together by there's about 22 of us across the state of Texas, and we continually add information and trainings and things like that. And we just want everybody to be aware of it. So that's what this little presentation is to give you an overview of everything that is available. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is talk for just a second about the prevalence of autism. So how many students in the state of Texas are receiving services under that eligibility criteria of autism? Okay. So in 2013, it was 41,206 to be exact. And each year we see that number increase. And our last numbers are from 2020, and there were 80,557 who were receiving services in the school district. Okay, so over a 7-year span, that is a 95% increase. Whoops. There we go. Sorry about that. My slides are going crazy. Okay. All right, so the rise in students with autism is far outpacing the rise in students in Texas and the rise in students receiving special education. So this chart breaks it down a little bit. The CDC released new numbers in 2020, and they said now that 1 in 54 children actually have a diagnosis of autism, okay? So you can see over on the left-hand side, that chart and just how we've kind of just steadily increased our numbers there. And then you can see our total student population 7 years ago was 5 million, and now we have an 8.2 increase when you look at the 2019-2020 school year. But when you look at the next column, we've had a 33% increase in our special education population. And a lot of that has to do with that 95% increase that we talked about for students with autism, okay? And then the last column shows you the percentage of students in SPED that carry that autism eligibility is up from 9.4 in the 2013 school year, now at 13.7% of our kids, okay? So those are just the numbers. So the National Clearinghouse on Autism Evidence and Practice, which we're going to talk about a little bit, have said that the increased prevalence of autism has intensified the demand for effective educational and therapeutic services, and intervention science is providing evidence about which practices are effective. So those are the things that we talk about as there are evidence-based practices that we hear all the time in the school setting. So the question for us is, how do we most effectively educate and serve this growing population? And also, how do we train our Texas educators on which practices are most effective? Because there's a lot of things out there for sure. Okay. So we'll talk for just a minute about these 3 groups and how they play into the evidence-based practices. Everything that we do is based around these EBPs, and all of our research tools and trainings stem from our use of these evidence-based practices. So the things that you're going to find on our website fall under the categories of these evidence-based practices. So the National Professional Development Center for Autism Spectrum Disorders, that is the NPDC at the top there. And then the National Standards Project, the NSP, did a review of the research on practices used in the education of students with autism, and that was published between 1990 and 2011. So they published their reports in 2014 and 2015, respectively. The NPDC, the one at the top there, identified 27 evidence-based practices. So on the next slide, we're going to talk about the National Clearinghouse for Autism Evidence and Practice. There we go. Okay, so they continued the work, okay? And they reviewed all of that research that was published between 2011 and 2018 and published their report in April of 2020, okay? So this came out last year and it was a big to-do when it came out. And the evidence base more than doubled since 2011. So that gives us educators greater confidence in the effectiveness and of the previously identified evidence-based practice. And the current list of EBPs, excuse me, contains 28 practices. So there are 11 other practices that came out of this study that had some evidence with them, but they have yet to meet that strict criteria required for identification as an EBP. So what TSLAT does is we focus on those EBPs, and our goal is to spread the news and make sure that teachers and educators and parents know about it so that they can do some research on their own, because I'm going to be really honest with you guys, they get hit with a lot of stuff. Try this, try this, try that. This worked for my kid. This might work for your kid. And part of our goal is to really help dispel some of those things that are that could be considered honestly harmful for our kids, for sure. If I told you some of the things that I've heard about, you would say there's no way that somebody actually thinks that that is going to be beneficial. And it is, it's just crazy. So our resources and the training we provide are all centered around the identified evidence-based practices, okay? These are just some other slides about the list of those evidence-based practices and then the support behind them, the research, the years of research behind them. Okay, so is the use of evidence-based practices a requirement for teachers? I had to turn my pictures back on so I could see your faces. So is it, I saw Joni, she said this, yes. Yes. The answer is yes, 100% yes, right? Okay, so it would also be, hold on, I skipped too fast, sorry guys. It would be ideal if all teachers use these 28 EBPs, right? Are we just being idealistic maybe thinking about that? Or, you know, how can we let those teachers know about all those 28 requirements? I'm sorry, the 28 EBPs that are a requirement. Okay, there are 3 laws that we do need to talk about for just a second. The Every Student Succeeds Act, or the ESSA Act of 2015, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, and the Autism Supplement in two Texas IEPs all require that educators use scientifically based evidence, research-based practices in their teaching. That's what it says. That's what the law says. And the Autism Supplement is a required document to accompany all individualized education plans for all students receiving special education under the eligibility category of autism. The Autism Supplement requires 11 strategies to be considered for all students with autism. One of the 11 asks, what EBPs will be used with this student? Okay, that's one of the questions on that Autism Supplement. So educators need to be versed in the language of the identified evidence-based practices in order to complete this part of the IEP document and to most effectively meet their students' goals. So TSLAT has had legislative and TEA support to provide the resources needed to ensure that teachers implement those EBPs with fidelity. So you can find a guidance document on the autism supplement on the front page of txautism.net. And we even have a short 30-minute online course that is titled Understanding the Autism Supplement. Okay, so that's there. We've done that for everybody. Okay. So one of the things that we found out when we started to survey teachers about using evidence-based practices was that most of them were unable to name the identified EBPs, or when asked if they were using any of those evidence-based practices, they said they were not, when in fact, they really were. They just didn't realize it. So when we asked more detailed questions about their practices, they were using things like reinforcement, prompting, modeling, task analysis, time delay, etc. They just didn't realize that what they were doing had specific names. So using our resources and trainings on evidence-based practices can give educators that vocabulary and the language to give themselves credit for the good teaching that they're already doing. And most teachers find that they are using the strategies, but the way they are implementing the strategies could be tweaked maybe to make them a little bit more effective. So our trainings are good for those new teachers, but also those experienced teachers as well. Okay, so this is our website. It's txautism.net. Okay, you're going to hear me say it a couple times today so that everyone can remember it. A lot of times I'll say, okay, who's heard of TSLAT when I go out and work with districts? And I usually get people that are like, nah, I don't know what TSLAT is, which it took me a couple years to actually remember what it all stood for when I first started, to be real honest. But they'd been to the website, okay? They recognized the txautism.net. So bookmark it for sure so that you can refer back to it and you can tell other people about it. Okay, so before we go into the resources that we have, if any of you guys, I'm going to ask, have any of you guys played around a little bit on the TSLAT website before? Joni has. Good, Joni. Suzanne has for sure. Yes. Hey, Christy, have you ever seen it? Have you been before? No?
No, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. We've got some good resources for your group too over in Head Start for sure. Okay. So our #1 most requested resource is for behavior. Okay, I know you guys are all very surprised by that. This includes behavior change, reinforcing and reducing behaviors, monitoring behavior, and tier 1, 2, and 3 behaviors. Okay, all behavior. Okay, so let's take a look. We have 53 online courses specifically on the topic of behavior in individuals with autism, but actually most of our 90+ courses that are available on the website touch on behavior in one way or another. We also have over 30 videos in the video library on the topic of behavior. And there's what our video library page looks like. And then if you need what we call downloadable tools or new ideas to achieve a desired behavior, we have over 20 tools that you can use in your classroom tomorrow with steps for implementation. And I'll show you guys where we can find those. Okay. So hold on just a second and let me see if I can pull up the web page. Okay. Whoops, make it big. Here we go. Okay, are you guys seeing the TSLAT? Okay, perfect. Thank you for the head nods. This is actually not our main page. Let me take you back. Okay, so this is our main page on the TSLAT website. And if you scroll, this is that autism supplement training that I mentioned just a little while ago. It is available on the main page. And then up at the very top of the page, this is where I get to everything. I honestly don't mess with all the stuff that's on the main page. I go up here for everything that I need. Okay, so let's look at the video library. And when you click on this, it's going to bring up 80 videos here. Now, we redid our website so it'd be easier for you guys to search for things. And this, right now we're in all of them. We have expert interviews, teacher interviews, strategies in action, which are my personal favorite, and then parent interviews as well. But if you're looking for something like behavior, you can type it in and hit enter, and then you can see that we've come up with 33 videos for behavior. And what I also like about this is that it shows you how long that video is. And they're also really easy for you to copy and paste. So if you've got a teacher that you're working with, or maybe you're the teacher and you've got a paraprofessional that you're working with and you found a video that you want to share, it's really easy for you to copy and paste that and put it into an email for them. Okay, and then let me show you. So this is actually Sasha Long from the Autism Helper. Under expert interviews, we have 24 videos. So anytime we had a presenter come to one of our service centers for TSLAT, we filmed some video shorts with them that we could put on the website. Okay, so let me show you this one real fast so you can see.
All behavior is communicating something, but some behaviors are not functional. Some behaviors are dangerous. They might cause injury to that child or to other children, or they might be disruptive and impeding the learning of that child. If you are engaging in negative behaviors most of the day, when are you learning? When are you making friends? So we want to look at behaviors that are socially significant to change. We want to change behaviors that might have a great impact on that child's life. If we can reduce negative behaviors and replace them with positive behaviors, that child will have more opportunities to learn, more opportunities to make friends, and more opportunities to be independent in the community. That's our goal, is creating positive, pro-social behaviors that will increase independence.
Okay, so that's Sasha Long, the Autism Helper. We also have a video course that's available from her. She did a 6-hour training for us, and so we've broken it down. So, you know, a lot of people don't have 6 hours to just sit on the computer and take a course. So you can log in when you can, watch a module, and then take a quiz over it, and then log back in again later, and then take the next module as you have time. Now, the thing that I do want to tell you about this too is that when you finish that, any training, not these video shorts or anything, but when you finish a training, it gives you a certificate. So then you have record of taking that training. Because also in the autism supplement, it says that anybody in our schools who is going to work with individuals with autism has to have had training in autism. That's really all it says. It doesn't say what kind of training, how long the training is, how often the training needs to be. So if you're ever questions about what trainings you've had in autism and you've got your certificates, then you can say, oh, I did this one on this date, I did this one on this date, and then you've got that as a record. Okay. So one of the ones that I want to show you while we're here on the website are the foundational videos. Oh, I'm still in the... Hold on a second. I'm still in the video library. I want to be over in online courses, okay? So if you go over to training and then online courses, that's where I want to be. These are the ones that give you the certificates. Okay, so I'm going to type in foundational here. And we also have videos available in Spanish as well. Okay. So this here shows you that this is a series, and it gives you a little bit of information about it, and it tells you about how long it will take to complete and how many courses it is. And then it also lets you know if it's available in Spanish. The foundational series is one that I refer to a lot, especially for new teachers or new paraprofessionals, somebody that's new to autism. And then as you scroll, these are all the available courses. This is one on AAC, Autism 101, the top 10 pieces to the puzzle. So there's 8 of them, and then you can pick which one you want to do and then register for it here. Okay, let me go back to where we were searching, but you can search by categories. We're broken down into several categories here. And then you can also search by duration too, because I know a lot of times that plays a part in which things you want to watch when is how long they actually are. Okay. All right. Now, while we're here, I want to show you something that we'll talk about a little bit later too. And this is up at the very top here. It says Autism Circuit. And this is our tools webpage, basically. So we've taken some of the tools that we use the most in our classrooms and we put them here on the website for you to download quickly. These are those downloadables that I mentioned earlier. Like these behavior cue cards right here. If a teacher were to create this from scratch, it would take a really long time. And what we've done is we've put it together. We've got large and small cards here. And all you do is you download it and you print it out, you laminate it, you cut it out, and you use it. It's ready to go. We also talk about how to use it and when to use it. So we have all of that available. And then if we have any other resources on our website, maybe some webinars, those are going to be over here under the resources side. Oh, I lost my mouse. Okay, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to show you this short clip about the autism circuit.
Welcome to the Texas Autism Circuit. This site offers strategies that are easy to implement and highly effective. The tools and techniques are designed to enhance your daily instruction, streamline data collection, and support student engagement. Here's how it works. From the homepage, click Tools. This will take you to a full listing of all of the tools in alphabetical order. The tools have also been organized into 4 categories: behavior, social, communication, and classroom organization. Now, let's take a look at one of the tools. Click on Token Board. You'll find real-world examples and in-class videos. Scroll down to find when and how to use the tool, implementation tips, and a Print This Tool button. On the right are resources that link to applicable evidence-based practices, downloadable templates, and quick sharing buttons. The Texas Autism Circuit works seamlessly on your phone or tablet, ready to use anytime you need it. Check out the Texas Autism Circuit for yourself and energize your classroom.
Okay. So I like using that a lot of times when I am when I'm in classrooms so that I can pull up something quickly on my phone and then show them, show the teachers where it is. All right, hold on a second. I got to figure out. There we go.
That's
I'm
very
telling-
cool.
Do you like that? Isn't that awesome? And we're constantly adding to that too. So we've got some really good resources there. And then as we find things that we like, we add on to that as well. Okay. So are you guys now seeing my PowerPoint again? Yes? You good? Okay. Thank you. I use Google. I don't use PowerPoint. So this is interesting, a learning curve for me for sure. Okay. Okay. So we just talked about behavior, and probably the number 2 highest need for supports that we have is communication. So in TSLAT alone, we have 29 online workshops and trainings for communication, okay? And then over 20 videos and strategies in action talking about communication in the video library. And then 14 tools with those downloadables and steps for implementation. And that would be found on the Autism Circuit website, okay, that you get to through TSLAT. Okay, so we've talked about behavior and communication, okay, but look at all of these other subjects that we cover with trainings on our website. We also have a math training that's on there that we've just uploaded that you can look for in the courses section. That was one of the trainings that we had a six hour, like the Sasha Long one, and then we put that together on the website with modules, so it's broken up, so it's not a full 6 hours when you have to sit down and take it all for 6 hours. You can break it up for sure. Okay, so according to O'Connor and Pettigrew in 2009, the single most significant barrier reported to prevent the implementation of EBPs is lack of time, okay? So do you have time to research all of the interventions, and how do you find those interventions, and what strategies do you use to read the research, those types of things. So another study reported in 2008 that it took from 3 to 7 hours to define a clinical question, search for evidence, read the evidence, and answer the question, okay? So when we're talking about taking time to look at the research, the things that we have available on our website are really helping cut down the amount of time that our teachers and our educators are using or having to spend to look up those evidence-based practices. And then of course, how to use them with fidelity. One of the things that we offer that some people might be interested in are badging or that micro credentialing. So when the course is completed, the participant earns a badge that can be added to their signature or their LinkedIn or their social media account, or maybe a hyperdoc resume. Anyone such as a principal, a parent, or prospective employer can actually click on the badge and it will show what the person learned as a result of taking the course, how many hours of study it required, and information on TSLAT, okay? So that's what this looks like right here. Hold on, I lost my mouse. There we go. Okay, so this one is for solving the behavior puzzle, and then it talks about what all they learned. And then when someone is actually checking and they click on the badge, then that's the verification check that shows, yes, they did actually complete all of that training on the TSLAT website. Okay, now not all of our courses have this, but it will tell you when you're searching for things if the course does have the badge and their credentialing. Okay, so digging a little bit deeper, we've been talking about those evidence-based practices. We built also what we call Target, the Texas Autism Resource Guide for Effective Teaching, okay? So this really takes you from the initial evaluation to program completion to everything in between. So this can be for parents, for educators, for anybody. Okay. So this is what the page looks like for interventions. You can, at the very top of it, you could click on any of those little boxes. If you're just wanting to see the evidence-based practices that have to do with social, you could check that box. And then right below that, those are the age groups. So you could click just ages 6 through 14 and see what it comes up with. Okay. Okay. And then we also have a section for evaluations. So this is where maybe a parent could go and look up information on an evaluation, on an assessment test that was given for their child and learn more about it. So we have those listed there with information about them as well. And then this is what it's going to look like soon. We've made a lot of improvements to this site so that it's easier to search through it. And we also wanted to make sure that it was easier for people to see the things that are actually evidence-based and the things that are not, that you need to be wary of. So we've updated that. So look for that to be coming out soon. That's all I know, is that it's soon. Don't have an exact date on there. Okay. Okay, so next we have our autism circuit, which consists of an autism circuit toolkit and that we've talked about already, and then the Autism Circuit Academy. So the toolkit was what I showed you just a second ago, and it looked like this when we pulled up that behavior cue cards page. And then we also have, sorry, my slides are going fast. We also have the ACA, or the Autism Circuit Academy. And this is an endorsement program, and it's comprehensive professional development designed to help Texas educators acquire and effectively implement those evidence-based practices for teaching students with autism. Our Autism Circuit Academy offers 21st century professional development. These trainings were developed based on the most recent research on effective educator training. So basically, we studied what makes educator trainings effective, where the educator's practice is actually improved and the student outcomes are impacted. And we use these elements in the design of our program. Okay, so like I said, with the research that we did on effective PD, the first thing that that they talk about is that it's ongoing. Okay, it's not just one workshop and then it's over. So our autism circuit programs are 4 to 8 months long, and then effective PD has that follow-up or coaching element. And every module that the participants go through in Autism Circuit has at least one assignment that participants share in their learning community. And then all participants are required to submit video artifacts of that evidence-based practice implementation. And where we come in as TSLAT staff and network members is we provide that coaching element when they're ready, when the students are ready. And then it's also relevant to current practice. So participants are using what they're learning every day along the way. So they're implementing it immediately into their classrooms. Okay. So this is an opportunity that is for all Texas educators. It's for general educators, speech pathologists, related service providers, LSSPs, paraprofessionals, basically any employee of an LEA who works with a student or students with autism. Right now, it's not open for parents. It's just the way our grant is written, but anybody who works for a district will be able to participate in this program. So Cindy Engel is actually now an autism specialist at Region 12, and she's on the TSLAT team. She went through this program when she was a teacher, and she said, I learned more from this year-long experience than I did in my master's degree program. Okay, and now she's on the other side of it with us, helping put together all these trainings. When you complete this, you actually do get an endorsement that is from TEA and also TSLAT. You can see that Justin Porter signs them too. So there is not a Texas certification, in autism training, anything like that. But this is the closest that we get, and it is endorsed by TEA. So you will get that badge and that micro credentialing, and then that endorsement as well. Okay, so let's watch this video about the Academy.
The Texas Statewide Leadership for Autism Training, TSLAT, has created the Autism Circuit 2.0, a rigorous online program that focuses on 8 high-yield evidence-based practices, or EBPs, for students with autism.
This program was designed to increase positive outcomes for students with autism, increase the number of educators who are skilled in the implementation of EBPs, and provide a model of professional development for Texas educators.
The Autism Circuit 2.0 consists of 8 online modules. For each module, participants will study a new high-yield EBP, practice and submit videos or artifacts, and engage in peer discussion with educators across the state.
Additionally, participants receive one-on-one coaching from a TSLAT network specialist. We've developed 2 pathways to meet the varying needs of Texas educators.
The first pathway is our year-long course that runs from October to June. Our second pathway divides the program between the 2021 and 2022 summer months.
In this flexible option, participants must attend both summer sessions and work with a student with autism while in the course.
Participants can earn up to 48 CEUs, level digital badges, as well as an endorsement from TSLAT and TEA upon completion.
Those who complete the course will then have the opportunity to join one of our Level 2 pathways provided during the school year.
Level 2 pathways allow those with strong foundational skills in high-yield EBPs to apply those skills and increase their instructional toolkit.
Find out more about the Autism Circuit 2.0 and the application process here on our website.
We look forward to learning with you.
Okay, so the summer cohort that's going to start this summer and run next summer too, this is the first time that we're doing it like this since I've been there. So I'm interested to see if how many people we're able to get who can't do it during the school year, but that could do it during the summer. Okay, so these are just some numbers. Our first cohort to complete a program in our academy started the program in 2015, and since then we've hosted 8 cohorts with a total of over 1,200 participants and almost 600 earning the full endorsement, okay? When we count how many students with autism each of these participants worked with the year they participated, this program has impacted well over 10,000 students with autism across Texas. So we like to see that. And then here's a quote by our own Suzanne McGuire when she went through the program. And she said, have you ever watched a child who has no way of communicating other than temper throwing figure out a way to communicate and you just cry when a strategy works? I literally had tears rolling down my face when I watched him be successful in communicating his wants using this system. Yes, we are just starting, but I get excited each day when it is time for one of our sessions using the system with him. I'm so very thankful for the help from our experts. It truly does take a village to raise a child. So much of the learning in these cohorts happens when the peers start talking to each other about their experiences in their classrooms while they're implementing those EBPs. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk to you about is the Texas Autism Conference. There is a link to that up at the top where it said Autism Circuit when I was showing you the website earlier. There's one that says Autism Conference. This year, our conference is Raising the Bar, June 24th through 26th. We are virtual. It's geared towards educators, administrators, specialists, paraprofessionals, parents, families, really anybody. There's something for everybody. And this year, the 26th, which is a Saturday, is actually going to be a free day for the conference, okay? So we're going to focus more on parents that day. And registration is, I believe, is already up on the website. So you can already register for those days. So we're excited about that. Okay, one of our greatest assets is our network members, and we have a place on the website where parents can go or anybody can go and type in their zip code, and that's going to pull up which region they're in, so which number, and it's also going to pull up the contact information and the name of their TSLAT member. So if somebody were to type in a zip code in region 14, then it would pull up my name and contact information. So they would know how to get a hold of me if they had any questions about the TSLAT website or just about autism in general. Okay, this last video that we're gonna watch is 4 autism specialists from across the state, regions 18, and then me from 14, region 11 and 7. Some of us have been on the network for a long time and others are new, like me. And we've got, some of us are from very large areas with large cities, and then some of us are from our more rural areas. We talk about why we use the TSLAT network, txautism.net.
As an educational consultant, Texas Statewide Leadership for Autism Training website has been one of the greatest resources for me. It's got lots of free resources and it's open to the whole wide world.
One of my favorite things to do is use the strategies in action, because sometimes they just really need to see exactly what it is I'm talking about if I'm not able to coach in that moment. And that gives them a way to see specifically what I'm trying to help them do in their classroom with their students.
I actually like directing teachers to the interventions page on the TSLAT website that actually gives step-by-step instructions on how to implement an evidence-based practice. I know that was something that would have been very beneficial for me when I first started teaching. When I first started working with kids with autism, we didn't have a resource like that. And honestly, I think that is just amazing that teachers, we have that now and we can share that with them.
So I've been researching for our districts and charters information on how to assess females to see if they have autism. And I'm not finding a whole lot of information out there right now. There's a lot of research going on. But I was very excited to see, not at all surprised, that TSLAT is on it. They're on top of it. They know it's a hot topic, and there's already a course offering to help evaluators consider some of the implications of testing females when it comes to autism.
Okay.
As an educational
Sorry. There we go. Okay. Last year alone, the 2019-2020 year, we had over 2,000 adult students who joined us live for any of our special events. Those are the ones that I've been talking about that we've turned into special courses on the website with modules. And we had 29,000 plus adult students who learned about autism through our online courses. And we had 120,000 visitors who viewed our resources, videos, interventions, and tools. And 1.5 million pages were viewed just on our top 5 online courses, okay? So our mission is to serve students with autism the best way we can through training, support, and resources, and it's all free. I'm not sure if I mentioned that yet, but it's all free. So we want to make sure that everyone knows about it and is using it, knows that this is a resource that's free for anybody. We get people from all over the world who actually log into our website, and we track that data to see where everybody's from. So, you know, let people know about this in your ESCs, in your area, so that they can have this valuable resource in their toolkit too as well. So I hope that you guys, sorry, skipped ahead again. I hope that you guys found something today that you can use and that you can share with other people. Remember, there's that website, the txautism.net. And then we also have a Facebook page. You can search for it by typing in Texas Statewide Leadership for Autism Training, or just facebook.com/txautism. We highlight our resources, including our courses, our tools, any upcoming trainings we have, conference information, and any other related announcements. We have over 10,000 followers on there. So we've got some good information, and we hope that you are one of our followers for sure. And then here is my contact information in case you guys have any questions about this. I'm always available for anything. All right, Suzanne. Here we go. Okay, do you guys have any questions for me? It was kind of fast and furious, right? Back and forth.
Well, I just have to say that is TSLAT's one of those things that I use all the time for teachers. I did go through the academy. It was, I guess I was one of the ones in the beginning, maybe not the first year, but mine was an 18-month program, and I was working in a life skills classroom at that time, and Autism Circuit was pretty much a lifesaver for me, and everybody was so helpful. So if you have teachers that don't know what to do, where they're at, that is a great program to go through. So Christy, especially like with your kid, you know, y'all are seeing so many more now in Head Start. That may be something that we need to start promoting with the Head Start teachers, is TSLAT, and then really Autism Circuit as well.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah, we'd love to have more people in the Autism Circuit from the Region 14 area. And I think I've had some people who have said, well, my principal didn't want me to do that because they weren't sure about, you know, cost and things like that. It's all free. It doesn't take any thing from the district. The teacher does have to go on, or whoever has to go on and do some of the modules, but it is not something that costs the district any money. And it does provide that extra training for staff members for sure. So we would love to have some of your Head Start people in there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say that the strategies and actions section, we are using their early childhood kids. And so we're trying to expand that section. It's been hard with COVID, but that is one of our goals, that we do also offer some of those strategies and action for older students as well, so that teachers can see what it looks like with not just our littles, but with our older kids.
And I just want to add, like, I, being the special education behavior consultant, one of the things that I talk about is these strategies that are on the TSLAT website aren't just good for students who've been diagnosed with autism. It's about the behavior. And oftentimes the function of the behavior, if you can identify that, is the same. It just comes across, the kid doesn't necessarily have a diagnosis of autism, but the behavior is the same. And so good behavior interventions, it doesn't matter if the behavior is X and we do Y, it's going to work. And so what I love is these videos, especially those strategies in action, they're very short. And so that video modeling is very quick, and the teacher can just honestly immediately turn it around. But I also see this being used with parents at home. The strategies can be flipped at home. You just have to think about the environment that you're in that's different. So I know Amber and I and Suzanne and I have worked together with a lot of kids, and it could be as simple as just that video, the visual schedule, or even video modeling when the student's not in crisis, chunking things down to first then, instead of trying to give them a whole list of things that they're about to do. And so all of those strategies are good, not just for students with autism, but for all kids who are struggling with behavior challenges. And so I use this website for any behavior because it's fast, and the teacher or the parent can get to that information quickly, and it's very easy to understand, and it's step by step by step. So I love this website, and this is actually on my website for Region 14 as well as a resource. So shout out to TSLAT.
Thanks, Angie. But yeah, you're right. These strategies work for any of our kids, not just with that eligibility of autism, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, well, does anybody have any questions? I am recording this, and so when we're finished and it does whatever it does, and I get the email that says the Zoom recording is finished, I will share the link with you guys. And then if you know teachers or parents or anybody that needs to see it, I'd just say go ahead and share it with them, because I know that there are some people that had signed up and they weren't able to make it. So I'll be sending this Zoom link to them as well. And so Amber, you might be getting some questions from parents or other teachers. So yes. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else want to say anything?
It's great information. Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
thanks for being here, Christy.
Yeah.
Okay. And Joni, thank you for being here. And there will be a prize for you.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for not causing trouble, Joni. Being on your best behavior.
I did do pretty good with strangers in the room. So
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you too, Debbie. You too,
Yeah.
Debbie.
Thank you.
And Debbie and Leanne, thank y'all for being here. We appreciate y'all being here too.
Thank you. Good information.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to end this. You guys have a great day, and we will see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.